everyone, and welcome back to Danganronpa V3 Killing Harmony Blind, the free time episodes. In the last one, I had a blast hanging out with Tenko because, oh my god, she's hilarious and stupid and just endearing. Maybe less so endearing in the free time events than in the story, but oh my god, I fucking love her. And in this episode, we're going to be hanging out with someone else who's just... but in a very different way to the past two. Well, actually, no, Kiyo's kind of similarly to Angie, but, you know. Speaking of, I say, I'm liking this a bit better than the last few. I like this. I like how this looks. I mean, it helps that Kiyo's color palette is just... For something so grungy and muted, it's gorgeous. I fucking love it. Oh, well, hello, Himiko!
Yeah, for some reason I feel really bored today. I guess I can spend time with you if you really want.
Abso-fucking-lutely.
Where should we go?
Well, wait a... I ended the last episode fucking up here. Let's start this episode, hopefully not fucking up quite as much. We decided to hang out in the library. It looks like we're the only ones here. What should we do? I think she'd be into manga. I'm definitely not gonna read, I don't know, a pin-up mag with her.
I don't feel like it. I'm low on mana, so my brain's all fuzzy.
Oh, you don't like manga? Okay.
I thought you were more considerate than that. I guess not.
Seems that didn't go well. Wow, I am surprised. I guess bored was the answer with her. Not a reader. I mean, I can see it. But I mean, considering your whole magical girl thing, I kind of figured you'd be into manga. But, yeah, you know. Nothing against your girl. Speaking of the dates, actually, though, I don't actually know where I am with Himiko. I mean, considering that she came to me for a date, I'm guessing I'm not maxed with her, right? But I think I'm, like, halfway. I think I've got 3 hearts with her. Oh, 2! Oh, dear. Oh. I don't think I checked this, did I? We've already got a heart with Angie. Oh me, oh my. Not surprised. Yeah, do you lose points if you have a bad date? Because I feel like I should be at 3 hearts with Himiko. Oh dear. That's not good. Oh well, I mean, we've already got an ending, right? With Maki, so it's not like I really need to try too hard. Beyond, like, you know, actually finishing it. But man, it is really weird to think that I've only got 4 love hotel scenes left, and 2, 5 more people to chat with, and one of which I will knock out in this episode. Akio's down here, isn't he? Yes. Here he is. Hello. Goodbye? Hello. Did you come to invite me somewhere? What would you like to do with Korekiyo? I'd like to spend some time with the man. It seems your desire for anthropological knowledge has grown. If so, perhaps you can tell me what it is you find interesting about it. I am most curious to hear your thoughts on the subject. Well, I spent some time explaining to Kiyo what I find interesting about anthropology, which is in turn very interesting to him, because that's like, oh my god, that is basically anthropology about anthropology. you and I go a little closer today? Now let's see. I've got a lot of weird shit that I'm sure he'd like. He would definitely like the monkey paw over there. Actually, other than that, I thought I had more weird shit, but other than that, I'm not so sure what he'd like. Wait, this is from somewhere, isn't it? Yeah, it's from Portugal. Maybe not. That's more of a... That might be more of a Rantaro thing. But that I could give that to him. He could see that as having anthropological value. And then it's like this. Would he be interested in this sort of thing? Maybe, maybe not. See, then it's things like that. Would he be interested in these sorts of things specifically because they're from places? Like, would he be interested in the Japanese wig because it's something specifically Japanesey? What about the magazines, actually? Actually, I think he'd like that one. Well, let's see. Because if I give him... I mean, you know, I like not giving duplicates when I can, but... Oh, Kyo, you make this hard for me. Yeah, I don't know if he'd like this. Nor do I know if he'd like this. I mean, at the very least, this has a little bit of extra flavor. With, like, the whole symbol of truth sort of thing. Whereas this is just a popular souvenir. So I'm gonna say probably less interesting to him. You know what? I'll test the waters with the doll wig. Considering it also looks like his hair.
This is a fine gift. It almost makes me sorry to be the one receiving it. I would like to at least tell you some stories in return. Which one, though?
Okay, seems to have gone down well.
Is that alright?
Kyo, what's the difference between anthropology, history, and archaeology? Well, I think I could tell you that, but let's see what Kyo's.
They are often confused, so your question is reasonable. To that question, they are different may be a possible answer. History is records, archaeology is buildings and relics, anthropology is folklore and customs. History studies events and changes in countries or regions across time. Archaeology traces the course of humanity through physical remains. Anthropology is a study that examines the thought behind traditions and customs. I kind of understand, but I kind of don't. If you think of humanity at the core of anthropology, it should be clear. From people come feelings. Those feelings intersect and become tradition. At least that's my stance on the matter. The feelings intersect? Yes. Customs and folk tales only occur in places where people can share them. I'm sorry, I'm not very familiar with such things. Is that so? But you encounter anthropology on a daily basis. For example, the cult stories on the internet have their roots in folklore.
I mean, he's right, though. Beyond just the occult stories, don't really mean to jump in at this point in particular, but there's probably a lot of things you just do in your daily life, right? That you've never really thought about why you do them. And even beyond that, like simple traditions like candles on birthday cake. That's always a go-to one. Or having birthday cake in the first place. That's a little bit of anthropology for you. Despite the fact that I have looked it up numerous times, I can never remember the reason why, though. To that particular one.
Someone on a journey committing a taboo in a mountain village, for example. That's true, I hear that often.
Do you? Well, in movies, maybe.
Various mythologies are frequently referenced in anime, manga, and games.
It's true. Especially Greek. Greek is one of those go-to ones, right? Maybe it's because it's one that a lot of people know, but
a character's background can be viewed through an anthropological lens.
I guess that is kind of what I do, isn't it? To a certain extent.
Tools and houses in the background, jobs, speech, clothing, or food. With the proper knowledge, such things can help you understand a work more deeply. Without it, such clues go to waste.
That's fascinating. That knowledge would be very useful.
Agreed. It would be nice if I knew a little bit more about Japan. For the sake of like this. But it is what it is. My limited understanding isn't, it might not be the most insightful, but it can provide some insight, you know what I mean?
It seems I have piqued your curiosity. Let us talk more. Well then, what image does the word kappa call to mind, Shuichi?
None of those. I guess a monster with a plate on its head is the closest thing. Oh no, not even. It's got like a dome head, right? Maybe a furry monster that looks like a monkey. I mean, more so than a plate. Definitely got a cool big brother. Is that a reference? I feel like that's a reference. I don't know, I guess a furry monster. Is it really furry though? 'Cause it like lives in the water. Sure, I'll go with a furry monster that looks like a monkey.
A furry monster that looks like a monkey.
That is a somewhat surprising answer, but not completely unexpected.
Listen.
It is anthropologically impossible for our mental images of a kappa to match.
Impossible?
Yes. Originally, monsters had no form, but they were based on people's emotions. The image of a kappa is a culmination of many different people's thoughts. An ancient fear was changed over many years into a creature we can identify. Culture is constantly changing. Anthropology chases those changes. Thus, I must keep the present in mind while I learn about past customs.
Tell me your thoughts.
So, it is unexpectedly deep, yes.
Well, as someone with a personal interest in this sort of thing, if it wasn't obvious by the way I talk about these games and these characters, it's more so expectedly deep. But yeah, anthropology, and I get by extension like the humanities, like history, archaeology, geography, I guess, but who likes geography? They are surprisingly complicated, considering you think it's just, oh, let's read a book about this thing someone looked up. Especially anthropology in that respect, because there's a lot that goes into making a tradition. And even more that goes into, like, the modern interpretation of a tradition. Really, it's something I could talk about for a very long time. As I'm sure Kiyo could. Well, I'm sure Kiyo could go on for way longer than me, but
Yeah. Profound.
the man, I mean, if we're just going to talk about that, hey, I'm on board. This is right up my alley.
I learned all about anthropology and then returned to my room.
Yeah, I mean, please, Kyo, teach me more.
Got some time, what should I do?
I mean, I don't know. I just really enjoy this sort of stuff. So I feel like I'm going to enjoy Kyo's free time events, sort of regardless of how good they are, you know?
Anthropology is the study of humans expressing their humanity. Folktales only exist where there are folk. Kyo has a way of explaining things that makes it easy to understand.
You know what? That's fair. He didn't make it too complicated. I mean, he put the idea of, like, no one will ever really have the same mental image of something that doesn't exist, sort of thing, in a very easy way to understand. So you know what? Yeah, I'll give it to him. Kyo, you'd probably be you wouldn't be a good teacher because you're a mass murderer, but you'd probably be a good teacher, mate.
You chose me. I was considering asking you too, Shuichi.
Right. After your love hotel scene, I'm not so sure I believe that, good sir.
For us to be so compatible, we must have known each other in a past life. Shuichi, do you believe in the rebirth of the soul, reincarnation, or spirits? They're often dismissed as the occult, yet they're closely tied to anthropology. For example,
I mean, I think the occult is just generally quite tied to anthropology, right? As, you know, you could say religion is, which we were going with Angie. Like, there's always... I don't know how to put this, but... I don't know, I guess to put it in a no-duh kind of way, all of these things were thought of by people, right? Like, for a reason, too. We sort of went over this with religion, right? As like a coping mechanism sort of thing. But like, general occult stuff is sort of the same, right? Or it has the same vibe. Creating an afterlife gives us hope that death isn't the end, right? And that's kind of it's kind of the root of the whole thing. And the same can be said of reincarnation, I suppose.
I spent the day learning about the anthropology of spirits. Korekiyo and I grew a little closer today.
Alright, Kyo, are you ready to get a weather vane? I was about to say a weathercock. Well, it actually is a weathercock!
I may have this. Much appreciated. You enjoy giving gifts. Perhaps we can discuss cultural gift-giving practices. Since you're here, you wish to learn more about anthropology, yes?
Yes, I would like to learn more, if that's alright with you.
Of course, I will speak of it for as long as you wish to hear of it. Perhaps we should sit somewhere for our discussion.
Ooh, a friendly anthropological discussion in the dining hall.
We decided to sit in the dining hall and drink some tea while we talked.
You seem to be looking at me with a strange expression. Is something wrong?
Well, you're always wearing that mask, Kyo. I was just wondering how you would drink tea.
Ah, please. I take it off at times like these.
He does take it off sometimes. That makes sense, or else he couldn't eat or drink.
And I replace it with a mask for meals.
Okay, interesting.
A mask for meals?
That is correct. I have one for bathing, sleeping, and even exercising.
So he has a variety.
Okay, a little bit weird, but that's a personal custom, you know? Not going to judge him. Although, I wonder if it is. Is it just there to cover the whole sister thing?
If you will excuse me.
After excusing himself, Korekiyo turned his back to me and began changing masks. He could just take it off. He doesn't have to have so many kinds. Why so particular about that?
Thank you for waiting, Shuichi.
Now, unfortunately, I don't really know anything about masks in Japanese culture. You know, outside of like medical ones. You know what I mean? You know, going back to talking about anime. You know, when you see someone just like, I get usually on a train, I guess, or just walking around the high street, they got a medical mask on. Obviously, you know, you wear those for the sake of like being considerate to others. Well, not entirely, but from the human perspective, it's to be considerate to others. Realistically, the sentiment is, if you're ill, don't fuck up other people's lives by making them ill. And more specifically, fucking up their ability to do a job. There's a little less humanity in it than I'm trying to inject, but, you know.
Thank you for waiting, Shuichi.
But yeah, no, I don't really know anything about masks outside of that. I know there's like traditional masks as well, of course. You know, like Majora's Mask style animal sort of things, you know. But masks like what Kiyo's wearing, I don't know. I don't know at all.
Huh? Did you change your mask?
I did. This is the one for me.
It looks exactly the same.
So I will proceed to enjoy this tea now.
Okay.
This tea has a nice scent. I usually prefer green tea, but this is wonderful.
Korekiyo looked to be in a trance as he brought the cup of tea to his lips. But would it just spill on the mask?
Ah, a mellow flavor that makes itself familiar to the tongue.
Huh. The mask isn't wet. Did he pour it in the slit?
I mean, he'd have to.
I didn't even see him do it.
Ah, and we have cookies as well. They look delicious.
Cookies. I'll definitely get to see him take off his mask to eat that. I held my breath and watched as Korekiyo brought the cookie to his lips. What the? What happened? The cookie just disappeared!
What is the matter?
The cookie had just disappeared!
Well, yes, because I put it into my mouth.
But it didn't look like you ate it at all.
You're wondering how I ate it, aren't you? If you are vexed by such trivial things and your world is still very small, I will open your world to anthropology, if you so desire.
Look, Kiyo, you tease. I want to know. I mean, there's a certain art to it, I'm sure. You know, just like post it through like a letterbox. Although to be fair, the man didn't even need to chew. It seems. The trick is he didn't eat it at all. He just like slid it through the slot, and it's just sitting behind the mask next to his face. So like he can slowly eat it as the day goes by. I can see now why he has multiple masks.
After sharing some tea, I returned to my room.
Now I don't care what the canon explanation for it is. That's the explanation for it now.
Got some time. What should I do? Da, da, da. He has different bathing, sleeping, and even exercising masks. When I expressed my surprise at this, he told me he would open my mind with anthropology.
Yeah. See, I don't even know if that like masks have an anthropological relevance to Kiyo, or in Japan even. But like I feel like they do, right? And it's something that I just don't understand, unfortunately.
Did you come to invite me somewhere?
Let's go, Kiyo.
Seems your desire for anthropological knowledge has grown. If so, perhaps you can tell me what you find so interesting about it. Yes. We already went through this conversation.
Korekiyo and I got a little closer today. Definitely. So let's give him the hand. The monkey's paw.
To have brought this to me, you truly have an eye for treasures. If you'd like, I can tell you this item's history. Are you interested?
Yes, actually, I would be.
Korekiyo is teaching me more things about anthropology.
So from an anthropological view, house does not necessarily mean family.
Yeah, it doesn't over here, does it? Does it there? Does it in Japan?
The house is an umbrella term that denotes both the residents and people.
Oh, interesting. Well, it's fun breaking down the etymology of words we use.
It can be, actually, especially ones that are in like the English language. They're a bit of a hodgepodge of a bunch of different tongues.
Indeed. Speaking of family, what made you choose the life of a detective? Are your parents detectives?
No, it was my uncle. He's the detective, and I just help him.
Ah, so that's how it happened.
We're gonna get some things about sister here.
What about you, Kiyo? What made you become an anthropologist?
There is no particular reason. I merely pursued my interest.
Oh, yeah, fair enough.
The rest was sister's influence.
Sister?
I first learned of anthropology while reading a book with Sister. It said that tales like that of Princess Kaguya existed all over the world.
Do we? Do we really? What? Do we really have an equivalent? Maybe I just can't think of it off the top of my head. But is there a Western equivalent to the Kaguya story? I'm not like super in with it, but it's got to do with like an elixir of life. Kaguya goes to the moon, like stays there forever. It's like I forget exactly why, like how it happens. Like I don't know. Is it like she'll come down, or she'll return when her lover lives forever, or something? Or like her lover dies, so she goes to the moon because he didn't live forever, or something like that. I don't know the story very well. I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, I don't know. I can't think of like an equivalent, but maybe I'm thinking too heavily on like the moon bit.
I was surprised that people across the globe had such similar ideas. It was then that Sister pushed me to research as much as I could.
So that's how you became an ultimate?
Indeed, I am who I am today, all because of Sister. Sister understood me more than anyone else. She even made this uniform for me.
Do we know that? I don't know. I don't think we did, but at the same time, it doesn't come as a surprise to me for some reason. So maybe we did. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what to think about the whole Kiyo and his sister thing. Not from like the wow, incest weird point of view. I mean, like, what to actually make of their relationship. Like, I genuinely don't know how to view it. It's like, clearly she's more of the... And I think she's the older sister, right? I think she's older than him. Or was older than him. But she seemed very much like the dominant party when, you know, when Kiyo was voicing her. for hosting her. I guess maybe. I don't know, but. Actually, I just had a really weird thought. I don't know what made me think of it. Well, obviously, we was talking about sister, but I don't know what specifically made me think of this. There's like that one moment in chapter 3 where Kaito says that Kyo sounds like a girl or something. Does Kyo switch between himself and sister sometimes when he's just casually talking to us? Because he's obviously not voiced all the time outside of trial, so it's not like we'd know. I don't know. Maybe. Anyway, let's move on. Let's not dwell on that too much.
She did. My outfit was originally much simpler, but she said that didn't suit me. She made it ever so beautifully. There is no uniform quite like mine.
Korekiyo looked elated as he told me about it. You're close to your sister, aren't you? Not all sisters make clothes for their brothers. I'm an only child, so I'm a bit envious.
Do you have an interest in sisters, Shuichi?
That's not what I mean at all.
I jest. To tell the truth, sister's always been sickly. She made me this uniform between bouts of illness.
Oh, I'm sorry. But I'm sure that as long as you're working hard, she'll be just fine.
What do you mean by that?
Watching her little brother work hard and succeed is the best medicine.
I see. You're saying I should work hard for her. Of course I know that, Shuichi.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
I apologize. I didn't mean to overstep my bounds.
No, sister thanks you for worrying about her. You're a good person. Were you a girl, I would have you become one of sister's friends.
I know we don't know at this point, right? But Kyo just said to Shuichi's face that he would kill him if he was a girl.
Do all of her friends have to be girls?
Yes.
Maybe his sister doesn't like boys going near her. Now that's a complex.
Smash cut to Tenko over there. Oh man, maybe they would be good friends. Ooh, oh dear. Uh-oh.
Full of new knowledge, I returned to my room.
That's one way to describe it, I guess. Don't know why I went into Toad there, but I did. Man, I can't believe there's already only 2 left. I've really enjoyed Kyo's. They're not like too complicated, but I don't know. They're one of those ones where hello Rantaro, where it's just the person enjoying their talent. And I like that. I also hope we get a little bit more about Kyo and
Sister.
you know what I mean? Yeah, I really don't know what to make of their relationship. Clearly, like, Kyo loves her, right? I'm not so sure in a romantic way, but he does love her. And to be honest, I have a feeling she didn't love him romantically either. It was just a matter of, oh, I'm going to die. I want a lover. Might as well have Kyo. Which, I mean, fair enough. Have you seen this man? But yeah, like, I really don't know what to make of it yet.
Oh, Shuichi. I was hoping to talk to you. Do you have the time to talk right now? Thanks. So, where to?
Well, off we go, Rantaro. I feel like he'd be... Maybe it'd be a little fucked up to take him to the library, actually. Let's take him to the courtyard.
We decided to hang out in the courtyard. Looks like we're the only ones here. What should we do?
Let's get some fresh air. I think Rantaro is that sort of guy.
That sounds nice. Getting some fresh air really helps clear the mind. Maybe it'll even help me get my ultimate memory back. As if it would be that easy. I guess I'll just have to be patient. But that's okay. I won't get bored if I'm with you.
Nice. See? Rantaro is just a chill guy. You just gotta go with the chill option.
It'd be nice to spend time together if you're up for it. It's just a feeling, but no, I feel like if I spend some time with you, I can remember my talent.
Oh man, for some reason I just can't do his voice quite right when I've got the stuffy nose and like sore throat. I don't know why. 'Cause he doesn't really strain my throat at all. I just can't really do it.
I don't really have any proof of that. Just take it on faith, you know? Alright, let's head back to the dorms.
Yeah, like I don't know, my nose just kind of gets in the way of doing like the deep, and he sounds stuffy. Which, to be honest, would be a fine voice for him. It's not like a bad voice. It's just inconsistent with how I've voiced him the rest of the game. Well, the rest of the time we've had with him. It's not as if I voiced him that much.
Kiyo's interest in anthropology came at the urging of his sister, who's apparently fighting some illness. They seem very close. She even created his uniform for him.
So I actually had another thought for a gift for Kiyo.
You wish to discuss the beauty of humanity with me, yes?
I would love to, Kiyo.
I'm flattered by your invitation, but I worry there's not enough time. My love for the beauty of humanity cannot be covered in a mere day. That said, if I do not start the discussion, it shall never conclude. Perhaps I shall simply cover the basic points of the beauty of humanity.
Can do, Kiyo!
I spent some time listening to Kiyo talk about the beauty of humanity.
Because humanity is beautiful.
Oh man. I do love some of Kiyo's weird, wacky bullshit. Yeah, I feel like he'd be interested in this, right? And I can't imagine I'd give it to anyone else, so I feel comfortable giving him this.
I may have this. Much appreciated. Enjoy giving gifts, yes, I would notice. I must say, it is enjoyable to teach such an attentive student as you.
Now that I think about it, every time we hang out, it turns into a lecture. Well, I am having fun, so I don't mind it.
Do you recall when we discussed the Princess Kaguya legend?
Yeah, and how there are similar legends all around the world?
That is but one legend with counterparts in other cultures. Another such legend, what I find quite interesting, is that of Hainuele.
Now that's one I don't know.
Hainuele?
It is the name of a girl who appears in the folklore of Indonesia. To summarize, she was a goddess who defecated valuable items. In the tale, she was killed, and her body becomes seeds for crops. Similar tales in Japanese folklore, Ohogesuhime and Ukemochi. Isn't it fascinating how similar these tales from different lands are?
Well, I don't know any of those three. I'm not going to lie to you. But if they are if they have similar premises of girl who does thing and then she's killed and her body becomes like fertilizer, I guess. I guess that is a bit, it's a bit curious. Something to look into as an anthropologist.
Yeah, absolutely.
Tales with boxes not to be opened.
That is a common one.
Hero mythology.
Fair enough.
Gods disguised as beggars.
Fair.
There are tales with similar elements like these all over the world.
Well, I suppose that then goes into there's like, only 7 original stories in the world, and everything else is a copy of something else, at least in its basic story structure. There's that, right? I think it's a bit silly, but you can usually get it in there, I guess. You usually get them in. To like seven categories.
Interesting. So you know all about legends and myths, Kiyo?
Of course. Myths, folklore, legends, they all inform anthropology.
Are there any in particular that resonate with you?
Myths that resonate. Have you ever heard of Medusa?
I have, funnily enough.
The monster who turns all that look upon her to stone, correct?
Yes, you may know her as a monster.
Am I wrong?
Oh, she didn't start off that way, did she? She wasn't like born a Gorgon.
No, you are not wrong. But she was originally known as a goddess of nature.
Really? She was a goddess? I thought she was just a regular human.
A goddess of nature?
Indeed, but as time went by, she was changed into a fearsome monster to be slain by a hero.
Oh, no, you mean a role in mythology change. Ah, okay. That's not the only one, is she? Oh, fuck, there's another god who, like, changed drastically over, like, the course of, like, the age of Greek myth. I think it's Dionysus? Like, I think, or it might be Hermes. It's one of those two. But, like, they didn't start off as, like, I think it's Dionysus. But, like, they didn't start off as, like, say it is Dionysus, like, the god of wine and shit. They were more like a fury god? Something like that. Yeah, no, actually, I did not know that about Medusa. Because, yeah, I think as the story goes that we know it, generally, it's that Medusa was, like, flaunting her beauty or whatever and, like, compared herself to a goddess. I'm going to assume Hera. And then Hera, like, cursed her. Well, not really cursed her, but turned her into a Gorgon. Then, yeah, she's killed by Perseus? He's the Greek hero who slays Medusa, right? I don't really know why, but he does.
How did that happen?
The answer is clear if you consider why nature deities were worshipped. Long ago, humanity was weak and stood no chance against the might of nature. But over time, humanity developed civilization and began taming the land. The protection of a goddess of nature was no longer needed.
And considering how specific Greek gods could get, there's probably just like a very specific bit of nature that Medusa was like a goddess of at some point. And I guess they just felt the need to not pray to her anymore. Interesting. Thank you for that one, Kiyo. That's completely new to me.
The goddess becoming a monster is proof of humanity overcoming nature.
Huh. I never would have thought about it that way either.
I see.
But people will continue to tell the story of Medusa. Why is that?
Well, I guess to a degree, there's like the power of humanity, right? Because it's not really a scary story. And I want to at least give him an answer.
To show the power of humanity? To say that we've conquered nature?
That is true, yes. But there is a bigger reason. Living things turned to stone. This clearly represents death, yes.
I think that's fair to say, yeah.
In other words, all human beings will one day perish. So even if we can overcome nature, we cannot overcome death.
I couldn't exactly tell through the mask, but I imagine Korekiyo was smiling. Why would he make that expression? Does he not fear death?
Well, as we know with Sister, death, and just generally with Kyo's whole seance thing, death isn't the end. Not in Danganronpa.
Oops. It seems I've gotten off track. Let us return to discussing myths.
Okay.
Right, Kyo. I see they're playing that a little bit. The other free times were very good about this, right? Like Kurumi's was the main one I was worried about. It didn't really play around the fact that like the chapter 2 plot twist with her, which I thought was really good about her free time events. I really like that because some of the ones that were just in Danganronpa 2 were held back by the fact that so much of their character was only revealed through the trials where they murder someone, you know? Pekos and Teruterus are the obvious ones that come to mind. In fact, they're kind of the only ones, but, you know. At the very least, we already knew about Sister from just, like, fluff dialogue in the game anyway. So I'm not really mad about the fact that we've got more stuff about Sister here that's sort of vague and seems to be hinting at something.
Full of new knowledge, I returned to my room.
Yeah, I'm actually... You know what? We aren't learning too much about Kyo, but I'm really enjoying his free time events just as someone who is also interested in anthropology. Like because like I think this is something different to even other characters who like talk about their talent, right? Like Miyu and Kaede and Kirumi. Like, yeah, we understand them and how like their relation with their talent. We see them enjoying it, but we don't learn anything to do with their talent, you know? With Kyo, we have, and I think that's really fucking interesting, a really cool way to do his free time events.
You wish to discuss the beauty of humanity with me, yes?
Of course I do, Kyo. Wait, I just realized I didn't look at his thingy. Kyo, I was so caught up with really liking you that I nearly didn't read your thing.
He knows a lot about mythology, and his favorite story is the tale of Medusa.
I guess, yeah, I was going to go back to why does it resonate with him then? Probably because of the whole sister thing, right? Because she's already dead.
He told me that the moral of that story is that humanity can conquer nature, but not death. The way he smiled as he said it was creepy.
But I suppose he could also be talking about all his victims, eh? I know it is, Kyo. As are you, you beautiful lanky man. Boom, boom, boom. Now, we might actually have one that's under an hour. Damn, I didn't think we'd see that, because, you know, we don't have the love hotel to do with them. Now, where's that? There it is.
You have brought this to me. You truly have an eye for treasures. If you'd like, I can tell you this item's history. Are you interested?
I would be, actually.
It's time for another anthropology lesson. Field work?
Oh man, we're like jumping right in. Oh, that's kind of cool. Like, they've sort of ended a couple of these with the implication that these two continue to talk. So, like, jumping in, like, in the middle of a talk they've apparently had. That's interesting and fun. I really like that.
Also known as surveying, field work is very important to anthropology. Hearing legends recounted firsthand, recording tools or lifestyles. For this, I've travelled across the nation.
Oh, you're a bit of a traveller, are you, Kiyo? That's actually very scary, considering the sister thing.
Across the nation? I imagine that would be quite the life.
I was able to discover fascinating things every day. The latest topic to pique my interest are customs related to ropes.
Okay!
Ropes?
I found that many regions in Japan customarily use ropes to welcome guests. Why, I wondered, were there such similar customs in such distant places?
That is interesting.
That said, there are differences in how the ropes are used. In one region, guests tie up women. In another, the guests are tied up.
That doesn't sound like much of a warm welcome.
I was tied up so tightly during my visit that I nearly passed out.
Quite the reception.
Oh, God. I can't believe the fucking Love Hotel scene has relevance to his free times!
And from this trip, my fetish was born. Your understanding is yet shallow. That was only the beginning. As I was tied up, they whipped me. It was such a warm welcome.
Oh my god. Fucking... Kiyo, did you just, like, rock up to Bondage the Village? What the fuck?
I don't think that was a welcome at all.
This experience opened up a door to a whole new world within me.
Oh god! I feel like that door should remain closed!
After passing through that door, I was able to reunite with someone taken from me by death.
Oh! Interesting.
That was the greatest welcome I could have possibly received.
Could he be referring to a near-death experience?
Not quite.
Such an experience will grow your love for anthropology. I want that for you.
Wait, so in the Love Hotel scene, were we not gonna fuck? Was he really just gonna tie Shuichi up and whip him so he would experience not sexual pleasure, but anthropological pleasure?
What? I don't know about that. I don't even have the basics mastered.
Oh, indeed, it is useless without basic knowledge. I'm glad you understand. In any event, I would like to take you along on field work one day.
There are still many secrets to discover.
There are still many secrets to discover.
They are not necessarily secrets.
That's true, yeah. They're known to their cultures, maybe just not to us.
We merely live our lives distanced from such knowledge. Shuichi, to tell you the truth,
Well, Kiyo, would you like to come with Shuichi and Rantaro? They're gonna go around the world. Like, that'd be fucking awesome. Oh god, it'd be like a... Oh man! Kiyo, Rantaro, and Shuichi traveling the world. It'd be like a fucking Top Gear special, but they're all subs. Or bottoms, I should say.
I would like to go with you, Kiyo. We have fun no matter where we went.
It makes me so very happy to hear you say that.
Korekiyo's eyes were gentle and kind. I thought he was creepy at first, but now there's a real bond between us.
Perhaps I might consider you my first disciple then. I never imagined having a disciple so soon.
Okay, whatever you say, Jesus. Supernatural phenomenon, alright. Man, those were really interesting. I really liked those. He's a very intelligent man. I really like him.
I spent some time talking about what we'll do when we get out of here.
Simple. Classy. And I got appropriate for him and sister, I guess. You know what? Since we won't do the Love Hotel, I'll actually end it here. We'll look at his underwear, obviously.
Korekiyo's favorite bikini bottom. The stoic color and sexy form represent the beauty of humanity.
Oh yeah, you know it does, Shuichi. You know it does. Oh, woo! Kyo, you rock my fucking socks every day of the week, baby. Alright, where's your skill do? More concentrating, the reticle will automatically move over weak points! He has Mahiru's skill! Oh, Kyo! Well, now I wish I'd done his in the main story.
He says he's encountered the beauty of humanity while doing field work all over Japan. He said that he wanted to show me, and I promised to join him in his travels.
I mean, I'd watch that show. I'd watch that anime. But yeah, that's the end of that. Yeah, so next time we'll be doing Gonta, actually. See you over there, bug boy. I'm honestly, again, not expecting too much from Gontas. Sorry, big guy, but, you know, we haven't had any duds so far, so, you know, I'm interested to see. But yeah, that's the end of the episode. If you guys enjoyed, please leave a like, subscribe if you haven't already, and maybe leave a comment too, telling me some of your thoughts about Kyo. Based on the fan base, I assume it will be "you're wrong, I don't like him, he's weird," which fair enough. The incest thing is a bit much. But yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one, and until then, goodbye.